Boys, let me tell you, they got their act together. Believe you me.
Right, everyone is against this. Well, not everyone. There is one group that is still on the side of Michael Vick. Cats. I watched the Republican debate, and I saw this guy, Ron Paul. He's my new hero.
Start the clock.
What he was saying was we should listen to our enemies. We would actually make ourselves safer. You just never heard this logic from someone who's actually going to run the country. You've got Ben Affleck here. They're screaming for Ron Paul. We're going to bring out Ron Paul in a little while. Okay, thank you for being here. Look at that. Now,
that's nice.
Do you have any mixed feelings about getting such an ovation from such a liberal audience?
Well, not really. I mean, I think a politician always likes applause.
Yeah.
Evening, boys. Looking sharp. Wait till you see what I'm going to show you now.
And to some of you, he may still be a mystery man, so we're going to meet him right now and talk about something so you know where he is. First of all, Dr. Paul, good morning. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning. Nice to be with you.
For folks who don't follow it closely, I want to go through just a few things with you so people are aware of where you are. I think people know that you think that Iraq was a big mistake. We don't belong there. If you become president, what would your first act regarding Iraq be?
I would announce what the policy would be, that it's time to come home. The people of Iraq need to get together and have self-determination and decide what they want for themselves. That outsiders are the wrong people to decide what they should do with their country. I think the announcement would go a long way. I would announce that we're not planning on bombing Iran. We're not planning on interfering in the picking or the choosing or the changing of their regime, that that's their business. I would also say that the CIA should not be involved in picking and choosing the next dictator of Pakistan. We should start coming home from there, bringing our troops home. Within months, we ought to come out of the region and let the people there take care of their own business. I think this would send a strong message, and it would help our dollar. It would also help the oil price because there would be less turmoil over there. It would be very productive to announce to the world that we want to talk and be friends, and we want to be diplomats, that we don't want to run the world, and we don't want to tell everybody what to do, and we won't be threatening anybody else by bombing them, nor will we promise them largesse. We believe that we do not need to continue to subsidize all these foreign nations. Just for instance, we're sending $20 billion worth of weapons to Saudi Arabia, and it happens to be that 15 of the hijackers came from Saudi Arabia, so some of that just doesn't make any sense. $10 billion to Musharraf, that doesn't make any sense that we have done. So a non-intervention is the policy that I'm talking about. A president can do a lot to move that policy in that direction.
You know, during one of the last debates, you basically got John McCain to admit that he would stay in Iraq for 100 years if he thought it was necessary. And the war is so unpopular. Why do you thought it was necessary? And the war is so unpopular. Why do you think McCain is still fairly popular?
No, it's amazing that people don't, that we did some checking in New Hampshire in a lot of people that voted for John McCain thought he was against the war in Iraq. You know, sometimes, you know, getting this information out is not all that easy, and of course that's our job in the campaign. But it also reflects that they get all their information from the media and they don't look into it. Yeah. But it is true that people don't realize that he has made that statement. And he says if it's necessary, we'll stay there for 100 years.
I thought you would jump out of your skin when he said that.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is just unbelievable. Where is he going to get the money and how long is this? I mean, but his excuse was, well, we've been 60.
And here we got the brains, the whole operation. Master signal goes out from here to the satellite. We bump it out all over the world. Pretty fancy, huh? Not too familiar with it myself.
Years in Korea. Well, I'm making this point. 60 years in Korea is way too long.
Do you think
we don't have the money? So why don't we come home?
Is Iraq killing our economy here? All the money we're spending there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, just to think about it, if you just moved the troops back into this country and built the bases here rather than overseas, and all the military personnel spent their money here, this would be a boost to our economy. But instead, we're spending about $1 trillion a year to maintain our empire. We're in 130 countries. We have 700 bases. So we have to change. Let's change before we have an economic crisis, which is brewing right now. And this is what my plan would be, is to change foreign policy.
Congressman, the comment in that one debate where he talked about 9/11, and your position on 9/11 is you've got to look at it in a broader way, and where our policy may be somewhat implicit in what happened in 9/11. Can you clarify that for folks who are watching?
Many of your supporters call themselves 9/11 truthers. They believe that the U.S. government was in some way complicit with the 9/11 attacks or covered it up. Are you tonight prepared to either embrace that rhetoric or ask those supporters to abandon it or divorce themselves from your candidacy?
Well, I can't tell people what to do, but I've abandoned those viewpoints. I don't believe that, and that's all. That's the only thing that is important, and so I don't endorse anything they say, but I would like to take an opportunity to talk about the issue that we've been debating here for the last 20 minutes.
Sir, would you ask them to cease that rhetoric? Would you ask them to cease that rhetoric tonight on your behalf?
Well, it doesn't do me any good, so if they care about me, they should. But the only thing I have control over is what I believe and what I say. I can't tell them what to do, so I don't endorse what they say, and I don't believe that. So please, could I participate in the current debate rather than picking this out?
You still don't get it, do you, boys? There ain't no countries anymore. No more good guys. They're running the whole show. They own everything, the whole goddamn planet. They can do whatever they want. What's wrong with having it good for a change? And they're going to let us have it good if we just help them. They're going to leave us alone. Let us make some money. You can have a little taste of that good life, too. Now, I know you want it. Hell, everybody does.
Yeah, sometimes they want to misconstrue what I say and say, well, I'm blaming America. I don't blame any American for hoodlums and thugs coming over and murderers coming over and killing us. But you also have to understand motives behind those who commit murder and commit these crimes. And they have an argument that says that they are aggravated and incensed because we had military bases in Iraq. And even Paul Wolfowitz, admitted that. So unless we realize that, I mean, we can't solve our problems. They don't come here because we're free and prosperous. They come here because we're always telling them what to do.
Congressman, I think it's necessary to say, your schedule has you leaving us now because you're doing a lot of satellite hits around the nation. We would have loved to talk longer, so I'd like the Ron Paul revolutionary people to know we're not cutting you off. You're the one who's going because there are a lot more questions we could ask.
That is right, and I appreciate the time you've given us.
All right, Dr. Ron Paul, thank you very much, Congressman.
I'm telling you, he makes sense there.
You're afraid it's right, and I appreciate the time you've given us.
All right, Dr. Ron Paul, thank you very much, Congressman.
I'm telling you, he makes sense there.
You're afraid that Ron Paul people are going to chase you like they chase Sean Hannity?
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Happened?
Well, they chased, he was eating dinner, and they chased him and yelled at him and cursed him and whatever else. The interesting part of Ron Paul, without losing most of the audience here, he is what you'd call a moderate libertarian. And he believes that less government, stay out of people's lives. It creates interesting positions where you can't really say, oh, he's just this or he's just that.
Yeah. I saw him on Bill Maher. I see a lot of the politicians on Bill Maher. And that's my first introduction to him. And I thought, gosh, he is more libertarian than just Republican. And that's why we need to be educated on who we're voting for. Because like you said, McCain, people voting there, oh, I thought McCain wanted troops out of Iraq. I didn't realize that.
McCain represents...
On who we're voting for, because like you said, McCain, people voting there, oh, I thought McCain wanted troops out of Iraq. I didn't realize.
What's the threat? We all sell out every day. Might as well be on the winning team. See ya, boys.